Oh my God, they can't hear.
Now they can. Now we're live.
Okay, now they can. I'm all thinking that this shit is. I'm sorry, excuse my language.
That just cheered me up though and made me laugh. Thank you. Oh God.
I'm like, this
That's
has to.
funny.
Oh,
Okay, wow, there's a lot. I'm gonna have to catch up on these comments here, but welcome everybody. I'm checking the comments. Like I said, if you're my friend or not, we're going to you're going to I want you guys to just listen and like hear. I don't want you to just jump on the boat, and everyone's been sending me things about Mandi. I think some people were really hoping that Mandi and I would kind of butt heads and be the next two creators that are against each other, but it's just not what happened. Not what's going to happen.
No.
We are not going to talk about we're not going to talk about Natasha Cooper here. We're not doing that. If she comes in here, she's actually going to be blocked for tonight because of my panel guest on here. Plus, she was just slamming me about a few minutes ago. So I want everyone to be here to listen, give Mandi a chance and an opportunity to hear more than just what you're hearing after a really big game of telephone. That's virtual game of telephone. Sean's princess. Okay, so yeah, and just a warning, I'm gonna boot people in the chat, whether, like I said, for the night, if you're my friend or not. And who was it? Who were we talking about? Was it Natasha Cooper? If she came in and wanted to have a civil conversation with you, you were okay with that?
Yeah, that was before yesterday.
Tonight. Okay, so yeah, we're not gonna do that. That's off the table. I do want to say Mandi and I have been talking, and she was actually willing to. She was, if Natasha Cooper could have been civil and have a civilized conversation, she was willing to do that tonight. But after what just happened, it's not even an option. She's not welcome here. This is going to be. I want to go back. We're going to talk about another world that Mandi and I have been involved in, and I think when you know what comes from just being in that world, let alone the craziness of the Watts, I think you'll kind of understand why she's so guarded and why, well, when you poke her, she snaps like me. Where do you want to start first, Mandi? I kind of want, if it's okay with you, let's start with MM.
Okay.
Or do you want to start somewhere else?
Well, I don't mind talking about MM. Like from how I discovered it up until now, or?
Okay, all right. Some of you guys won't know MM, which is, oh, Teresa, hi, Mia, everyone. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. We've been discussing Mandi and I a lot, and there's a lot that I want her to be able to say tonight, because I think that you guys will see her differently after tonight. I really, really do. I really hope. Hey, Mama Bear. Mandi is a bit quiet because Mandi's a bit nervous, I think, and Mandi.
I'm more so stressed out. I've been like, everything, I'm not going to go into detail, but everything that happened last night was very stressful to me. I couldn't understand it, and I didn't feel like it was the person's place. So it just caught me off guard, and it was upsetting, but it's like it's like not surprising at the same time, because I've had it happen before, and I understand this is YouTube, so people will do things for content, and I'm not saying that's what that person was doing. Mm-hmm. It just stressed me out, so I didn't sleep all night. I've been up since, I don't know, almost.
Yeah, you texted me at like 7 o'clock this morning. I was like, damn, girl.
Yeah, I've been up. So.
Okay, so first, so MM is called McKamey Manor. Really quick, it's a haunted attraction. Well, actually, it's not a haunted attraction. That's what they're labeled as, but actually it's what I would call legal torture. Would I be right, Mandi?
Yeah, pretty much.
Legal torture and abuse, where you actually sign. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say I would say it's more legal torture back when he was in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Now
too
it,
much. I know very little. I only know a little bit about Tennessee, but it was like the real hardcore stuff was happening in San Diego because Tennessee was. Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'll let you just
no,
follow.
that's fine. You're right. He's changed. Hold on one second. He's changed states multiple times, and yeah, I think Tennessee, that's when I started getting in it. So he did kind of, he has it where they're calling it like a new, where it's like less, I don't know, it's a softer version of McKamey Manor. I still think that there's certain people and groups that are going, I think it's the same as he was doing in San Diego, let's put it that way. But I think
It
he
could be, but he maybe was disguising it. He was just disguising it better, probably. You know.
absolutely, that's the best way to put it. He's disguising it better to not seem as rough, and he's putting different people through different like, let's say I might go through something that's easy peasy, but then he would put Amanda through something that will about kill her. You know what I'm saying? Different people are getting different levels of intensity and torture, right?
Yeah.
And if you guys have seen with just in the Watts circuit, like how crazy people get from calling social services, death threats, all these kinds of things, houses being swatted, whatever, right? And now think that, but like times 10 when you're dealing with McKamey Manor people, okay, where they're coming for literally saying they're going to kill you and your family, your children, your friends. They stalk. I mean, it's like Watts Island, but on steroids. It is. It's much worse. So I think what year were you kind of involved with wanting to take the tour and talking with these people?
It was the end of 2017.
Okay, so that's actually right when
I'm
I
sorry.
found Russ. Yeah, it was at the end of 2017. I kind of started dabbling into it. Then I went to Florida for a couple of weeks and came back and got into it again because it was huge all over Minnesota. And I was like, in Minnesota, we have a haunted attraction as well that people come from all over the world to do. And this haunted attraction, yes, they're allowed to jump out at you. They're allowed to put their hands on you, grab you, scare you, pick you up and carry you into the butcher shop or whatever, but it's not, it's nothing like Russ's so-called haunted attraction that I thought was supposed to be much like that, but it's not. You're signing a contract to do this, and you're paying with dog food, which is another red flag. Okay, you're paying this man dog food. This man is running these operations for free, okay? But bring food to feed his rescued dogs, or so he claims. Um, do you want to talk a little bit then about your experience with this man? And you guys can find McKamey Manor stuff all over. Look it on Google, look it on YouTube. If you don't know about it, it's definitely a dark, twisted world. And after maybe some of you that don't know it kind of see what Russ is about and what he does to people who have either wanted to take the tour or have even just been in contact, like myself or Mandi, and the hate and the threats and the violence that comes from even just basically saying hi to these people from the world. It's crazy. So that on top of getting hate from the Chris Watts. And let's be honest, why do people go to McKamey Manor to try and do this tour? It seeks out people like you or I who have had a very rough upbringing, and we're really in search of something. We think, well, we know we're tough, right? And we're like, well, we can do this, but it's about really like proving to ourselves how strong we are, right? Like that's why I looked into it.
Yeah, same.
Do you want to kind of talk a little bit about that? About your experience from when you found them and then your experience in dealing with the McKamey Manor people?
Yeah, so this was around the end of 2017, and it was during Halloween time in October, and I was looking up haunted attractions, and of course, McKamey Manor came up. So I watched some of the videos and I was interested, and then I found that Russ was on Facebook, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, like usually it's not that easy. I don't know, it's not that easy to usually contact someone. I didn't think it would be that easy to contact him due to like the notoriety that he has. And I messaged him and I said, oh, I can beat the Manor. And he was like, yeah, really? He was like, so how about you do, become a contestant? And I said, okay. I said, but I want you to let you know that I have a past, and I heard that you do background checks. And he said, well, what's your past? And I sent him my article, and he gave me a thumbs up telling me it's fine. So from that point on, I was just following. He never gave me like a set date or anything, so I don't really know what was going on with that. I think that he was probably looking into me more and whatever. But I would just watch I was supposed to do, and Brandon Vance doesn't remember, but I don't know if you know who that is, but he doesn't remember me somehow now. I could have bad memory, but I was supposed to do like a tour with Brandon Vance and this guy named Elio or something. The three of us, and it just never happened. I befriended his only actor there, which was Austin, and I would talk to him. So after that, I really looked into this place like even deeper, because something in me, it's like I can be drawn to things that I know might be dangerous, but it's like I want to experience it. Like it's just something about it. It's like I feel like I just want to, I don't know, just take that chance. And I thought it was like what I saw on YouTube in the San Diego days. So back when he was in California. And I found a page on Facebook called End the Torture at McKamey Manor, and I read this stuff, a lot of comments about Laura Brotherton. Laura Brotherton is somebody who lasted the longest in the chamber. The chamber was a van that he would put contestants in and have his actors beat them as bad as they could until they like tapped out.
Yes.
And Laura put up with a lot. Like she was not giving up, and the actor said she's not giving up, and he said, go harder on her. This woman ended up in the hospital, and okay, I don't want to go too much into Laura's personal life, but he did that out of spite because Russ found out something about Laura with, he didn't like how I don't know if I should even say this. It's just not my place to really say. I have my own personal, it's a little personal, but whatever. Anyways, the tour was personal for her, and he went hard. It just wasn't fair, and he would pay off, allegedly, he would pay off, I was told this by the old actors, that he would pay off a sheriff in the area to be getting away with what he's doing. So
this is true.
I questioned Russ about it, and I said, I don't know. I said, I still want to take a tour, but what's the story behind Laura Brotherton? And he got mad at me and then went around saying, oh, don't talk to that Mandi Vasquez. I'm sending everybody my article saying I'm this awful person. He doesn't associate with people like that because he's this stand-up guy, and just having all this hate come to me. And I'm like, oh, but you gave a thumbs up to it before and you had no problem with it before, but now that I'm questioning your past behavior, you have an issue. Sorry, this just gets me mad. This guy is not a good person at all. Even with everything I went through with those people, I know I feel bad for a lot of them and stuff, still, because I just know how awful he is. I might not recall every little detail that happened, because I've been trying to block it out. It's just something that's really bothered me, and it was all. Let me just get into this. I want to stay on topic and be direct, but hold on, my phone has 1% left. Let me hook my charger up. Okay, so After that, I I can't remember how Josh Owens and I got in contact, but I do know he reached out to me and he was telling me he wanted to make a page exposing Russ McKamey. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. I'm like, this place, there's so much more to it that I think people should know. Like, this stuff is messed up, and how is he getting away with this? So I provided Josh with a lot of information because I had private conversations with people that have taken the tour back in San Diego, and I'm the one who told Laura Brotherton to talk to Josh Owens. I said, you should talk to this guy. Like, he's trying to expose the Manor. Like, if you're willing, can you talk to this guy? And for anybody listening that's affiliated with that community, forgive me if I missed some details. You know, like I said, and if it gets brought up, I will mention and, you know, discuss that. But I've been trying to block this out for a while. So anyways, Josh made a group called Truthers. I think it was just called Truthers at first. And it was a Facebook-like page. So he was, you know, doing all these little posts about Russ and talking, and it got, you know, people were interested in looking at it. So he would call all of his haters licks. I can't remember do you remember what that stands for? No? Cher? Okay, anyways,
Sorry.
I'll just go on. So he would say that, you know, anybody that questioned him was a hater. No, we can question you. It doesn't mean we're a hater. We're just trying to understand. So this woman named Paula Vasquez, I'm trying to remember how I even came across that woman. I think it was from back. Okay, so I came across her. I really, please, like, try to listen and bear with me. But when I was looking at the Facebook page and the torture at McKamey Manor, somehow I came across Paula Vasquez, and I cannot, like, fully remember, but I talked to her on and off, and she messaged me showing me a screenshot that Josh said about me, saying, oh, Mandi C, you know, I heard about her past and I'm just using her for info. I want to see how much I can get out of her. I think she's crazy. And that really hurt me because I talked to Josh a lot privately. And I was like, so I messaged him. I said, hey, like, what's this about? Paula sent this to me. That hurts me. Like, what did I do to you to say that about me? And he just left me on red, never responded to me. And I just started receiving, like, you know, just different hate from people because of my past. And I understand it from other people's perspective. When you read something like that, I get it, but it just was messed up how he treated me. So it's so long, Cher. I'm like, so
I know.
it's like when I go over this story, it's just so it's like you kind of just had to be around there and follow everything at the time to really get it. So
Yeah.
Josh's Facebook like page turned into a group page where you had to send him a video to get in to show that you were real and that you weren't a mole. You remember that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was one of the first few people when he started that group because, well, I don't want to say too much, but you know, privately, we've talked about what got me into that world and different things. So we know and have dealt with some of the same people in that world. But yeah, I was in that, and then when I started questioning the motive of even what I call them victims, but even when the victims were all, you know, they were all fine, they were all rooting for each other, you know, they were a group, they were standing up together, but then you kind of see them breaking off, right? And Josh was one of the first that kind of broke off and wanted to start his own thing. And I was like, what is going on here? Now, a couple of these people had actually went and kind of had intentions. You remember Holly?
Yes.
A lot of these guys thought that they could go steal Holly away from Russ, right? And I mean, there's videos, these guys are openly hitting on Holly. And so I'm like, ugh, gross, you know?
I've kind of seen pictures of her, like inappropriate pictures of her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And in the McKamey Manor, there's a lot. I mean, there's people will say that this isn't true, there's no way of doing this, and it's not happening, but I want to assure you it's true. It has happened, and Russ has actually admitted to this. He live streams these torture, haunted, whatever you want to call it. He live streams these, right? And I believe it's people in Vegas that are actually betting how long these contestants, we'll call them, or survivors or victims, whatever you want to call them, how long they'll go. And it's even said that some of these people who have been paying Russ, which is why he didn't need money from people, is because he was getting money from these people that were watching these live stream contestants go through this so-called haunted thing. They were actually telling Russ some things that he should be doing, like put more dirt on their face, or, you know, make this person do that, and it's more money or whatever. Russ has admitted to these things and then also turned around and denied these things and said that doing things like that isn't even possible. Well, that's a lie. It's possible, right? So yeah, it's very, very, very sick. I just think that if you guys knew the people that come from this world, I think you would know just from that world alone why Mandi is so, I don't know how to say. Well, you're like me. When I first started YouTube, I get snappy. I don't think about what I want to say first. I just get angry and my mouth goes, like, before my brain has time to tell myself to calm down, my mouth goes, right? I think, Mandi, you're kind of the same way. And with your past and stuff like that, and things that you have been through in your past, it's kind of our way of how we guard ourselves, right? We just get snippy right away. We don't care. We're tough and we're protecting ourselves, right? What, Rambling? A link to your channel. Thank you. Yes, keep sharing Mandi's
My
channel out.
mic muted by itself. I don't know what was.
Were you muted to resume chat? Yes.
Okay, if my phone goes out, it's charging, and I'll just rejoin the stream. So I'm sorry. It's
okay. Phone. Okay. So Mia, people have tried, and that's something I was working on from 2017 until just a few months ago, really, when actually Russ started talking to me a lot more. And then Mr. Cher didn't really like the ideas that I had, but people have gone in there. You get your phone taken. Here's the thing. You don't have a chance. Thank you, Coffee McQueen. You don't have a chance to even think about it. So let's say you're excited, you're doing this, and you're going to go pull up to this property, which is McKamey Manor. That is Russ's property. So you just, like, driving there, maybe you'll do it, whatever. As soon as you drive up on that property, before you even sign the contracts, okay, you're a part of that manor. They'll go out right to your car, drag you out by your hair from whatever vehicle you pulled up in there. And the torture starts from the minute you get on to that property. It does. And going in there with cameras, unless it's going to be very hidden on your clothes somehow. But I think Russ knows people have been thinking about doing this and catching him in these things. He absolutely has. There has been a lot of talk, you're right, Mandi, where he has paid off the police department, because people have called the police, or what they do is Russ will call the police department before the contestants start doing anything and saying, hey, it's McKamey Manor and we're running our contestants going through now. So, you may hear screams or whatever, or neighbors may call and complain, or whatever it may be. So he actually calls the police station and says, we have a contestant, just so you know. And so, yeah, they basically just turn the other way and just whatever. Russ is just having another contestant. You know what I'm saying? So he already has it set up where people aren't going to get help. And then when you're signing the contract to do this, you're making it legal for him to do these torturing things to you. And the police are like, you signed a contract. Like, you did this. You literally signed up for this. Amber, if you ever did that, they will. There's a reason why you have to tell them everything you are afraid of before you get there. You need to tell them your worst fears, right, Mandi? Before you
Yeah.
get there. And he'll say maybe you don't have to do that. I mean, pulling your own tooth with pliers and shit like that, and the shit is crazy. Didn't he shoot at somebody before? Okay, there's been talk
Wait,
for,
there was something that happened. There's something that happened when I remember because Austin Graham. Sorry, I'm not trying to mention last names. His actor that he had at Tennessee. There was something where somebody shot it. I feel like it was something like that. I can't remember. But it was
yeah,
crazy.
there was something to do with gunshots, and actually I've seen the contract, and in the contract it says you can get shot at. It actually says you could die doing it. So he could kill you going through there, and you signed off on it. And
I
there's
know
been
it's
talk,
certain.
yeah, somebody did die there, right?
No, that's a rumor. That's okay. So Russ, listen. Okay,
They
so
had a
Russ
heart
had
attack there.
he is a person he even said somebody had a heart attack there. Nobody had a heart attack there, nobody died there or anything like that. It's something to draw people in, and he would use that as a tactic to be like, oh my god, like this place must be crazy, like let's like
Mm-hmm.
see what it's about. Just like how he said, oh, there's a 25,000 reward. There was never that never even existed. It was just to draw people in, and he knew how to do that, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody had a heart attack there. He would say that's why he smiled when I think there's like a document. What was it? The one that was on Netflix. He was like, yeah, somebody died here of a heart attack. He's smiling. It's not true. It's been confirmed. I think Carol has talked about this.
Yep.
Yeah. I just want to make
Yeah.
that, so people don't think that, because a lot of these big content creators, when this was all going on, they were talking about this, and they were entertaining so many rumors
Mm-hmm.
that were not true. And it's like they just said, oh, it's like he will you can die there, and someone had a heart attack and all this kind of stuff. They'll entertain it, and I just feel like it's for views. It's misleading. I don't know, it just annoyed me.
Yeah.
Instead of talking to like the actual people that have dealt with Russ and the actors. But there was a channel
Mm-hmm.
who did like a series on it for
Yeah,
a while.
and was that okay? So he actually started this when his children were young, right? And he started it in the basement of his house. And yeah, his children were afraid. And I was actually part of all that with the other creator that kind of got me onto the MM. We talked about him. Our RS is all I will say. Because I don't want him striking me because he knows who I am. Okay, she will be back. But yeah. So anyways, you guys, they people after her to with death threats. There's other people. So with me, I had gotten an email from Mandi because it was weird for her to see that I'm in the true crime, but then also she had actually seen me in the McKamey Manor groups and stuff for a while. So she, she didn't know what to think, and she was worried, and I can totally understand that because I was so deep into this world too. If you guys know what these people have done, what they're capable of, what they continue getting away with is just insanity. And thank you, Hope for Peace. Very sweet of you. So yeah, I was confused as well. There is going to be Watts talk as well. There's a few things I wanted to go over with Mandi because I wanted to, hopefully you guys would better understand like why she's so guarded, why she snaps. Let's also remember we have people that are using her past against her, making these shitty videos or live streams talking crap about her. But then when she gets defensive, and yes, she said things that aren't the greatest things to say. She said nasty things, okay? She's not proud of a lot of the things that she says. And one of the things that she's told me is that she's really been like, she wants to not react so fast. You know, like when I first started this, I just got so sick of everyone's crap that I didn't care either. I've said things just as bad as her. So not only that, everything in the Watts world and all of the hater channels, on top of her dealing with people sending her threats from the world, maybe you guys can see, you know, why she gets a little bit snippy, why she gets defensive. People who have a rough upbringing like that, that's kind of our go-to. That's how we feel protected. And we get angry when you're throwing our past to us, our past that a lot of you guys don't really know. You know what you Google or what's said from this creator down to the next creator after a big virtual game of telephone. You know all that, right? But you weren't there when a lot of you have sent me Mandi's past, what she's gone to court for, all the FBI crap. When she gets back, we will talk about that if she's still willing to. She did say she's okay if everyone is, you know, I don't see anyone being nasty in the chat, but she is willing to talk about it. I have talked to Tanya not long before I left Canada. Just a lot of family stuff going on. And also, to be honest, I think the Watts drama and circus actually made her family kind of not want her doing it. That's just being honest. Death threats, things like that. We all know. But last time I talked to her, she was doing well. She's okay and misses everyone. I miss Tanya too. Hey, Sean's Princess, by the way. Hey, Kimbers. Oh, how I can relate to this, Cher. Nobody knows what you've gone through. Really, PTSD is terrible. Exactly. Make sure she's not back in there. She'll be back up here. I just, instead of everyone jumping on the bandwagon, and I can't even tell you, if I had like a nickel for everyone who, even when I was in Canada, was sending me shit about Mandi, and then even in the last 24 hours, sending me shit about Mandi, and then like some of you, I appreciate that you were sending me that because you were looking out for me and my channel. I know you were sending it to me like with love and looking out. But some of y'all were private messaging me, and I know what you wanted. You wanted to see me and Mandi go against each other. I know, because some of the people that were messaging me aren't even my friends. So I know what you guys were hoping for. That's why there's 288 people in here. I put in a lot of work, not to be hothead, but keeping your cool is so gangster. It's hard to keep your cool though when you have multiple people from multiple different worlds all threatening you and going after you, and she's just there, herself. Like, do you understand? Because I've done the same thing. I've snapped on people. I've apologized for snapping on people and gotten second chances. I see the same thing here. I just see a hurt human that has a lot of people from a lot of different worlds who are dangerous after her, and then mixed in with her past, which you can Google and see her past. That's fine and dandy, but I'm not going to judge her for that either, okay? Because it's not right. She made a mistake when she was younger, multiple mistakes, and a lot of us have done it. And I couldn't do YouTube. Yes, you could, Kimbers. But if I knew about all of this at the time when starting my channel, I can't say I would have gone through with it because I already had a lot of anxiety about doing it anyway. But there's as much bad as there is, I say there's more good. I just wish that people would slow down and listen. Like I told everyone, just listen tonight. Like, just listen, hear Mandi out. Maybe you'll see her differently. That's my hope, at least. Lori could fill us all in. Right, Maria? We all have Some of us have made bigger mistakes than others, but they're all mistakes. So much drama. Sorry, Hope for Peace. I've made tons of mistakes. I've made tons of mistakes on YouTube. I've snapped at tons of people. I've made death threats. But talking shit from someone that I've seen horrible things from that person as well. Sorry, no, not gonna fly. There she is.
Okay, I'm sorry, my phone died, of course.
That's okay.
Sorry.
So I was just kind of explaining, no, that's okay. I was just kind of trying to tell them, like, when you have multiple people from not just the Watts world, but MM world, and these are dangerous people, like, people like you and I, we get defensive right away. That's our mechanism. Like, we get defensive. We feel like we're protecting ourselves and our family. Go ahead.
I want to say that I don't, like, I'm not saying my reactions have been justified at all. Like, I'm not trying to excuse it. I'm just it's kind of understand when it comes to those types of people that are that have been involved with Russ, who've taken the tour, and the ones, and they kind of just, some of them have combined with the people who used to be an actor, or people who've taken the tour in San Diego, and then the people who have taken the tour in Tennessee, along with people who've never taken the tour but were interested at one point, or just wanted to expose the Manor. They really have to, it's hard to explain, but I know that another creator, which I won't mention her name, she knows like how they are, and she's that these people are, not all of them, and some of them have apologized to me, but I'm not going to mention names with who it is or whatever. I'm not doing that, but I have to hold my phone like this because my charger is like whatever. I've had these people harass me for years, like years, contacting my family, causing me and my mother to get into a fight as to her. I didn't speak to her for a year. The last time, and then after that, my sister called me telling me that she died. She passed away. And on the day of my mother's wake, I was told to kill myself numerous times, go be with her. Ha ha, she died from COVID. My mother didn't die from COVID. She died due to complications from her diabetes with her kidneys. And it's like I never got to properly grieve my mother. So that's why. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go into it, but that's why on this Mother's Day, it was very hard for me to have people, once again, on Mother's, because last Mother's Day, they were telling me, what did you do for Mother's Day? Ha ha, she's dead. Like, your mom looked like a bum at her wake and stuff like that. And your kids are half ends and they're going to serve my white children. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's what was told to me. It's messed up. So this Mother's Day, when I see the things that I was seeing, it really just set this like protective mode in me to be like, you want to make threats against my children. Like, that's like, it's like, it's like, I don't care anymore. Like, I just get into this, it's like I see red and I'm trying to improve. And I think the best times to work on that are in stressful moments, which is what I have been within the last couple of days trying to do, with not being so quick to be like, oh, you make a personal insult like that to me, I'm gonna go after you. I'm trying to ignore it and stuff. But these people know, and I'm not just talking about this person, this creator, but these MM people, I call them MM people, anti-MM people, whatever. They know how to get to me, and I know that, but I sometimes I forget that, and I just get so caught up in it because it's like they critique me for everything I do. It doesn't matter what I do. I can't win. I mean, I can act, or I can like try to be optimistic, or I can, make a stream that's not problematic or whatever, and they would have a problem. They would have something to nitpick at, whether, you know, if I misunderstood something or if I misworded whatever, they would find something. They don't like to see me happy. They don't want people to talk to me. They want me shunned. They said that a couple of them have said that their goal, and I'm not talking about this other creator didn't say this. The MM people, the anti-MM people, some of those people said this to me. They said that their goal is to push me into suicide, and they will team up with anybody who does not like her that I have a problem with.
Now, you guys, we can know this is true because we've had people say that it's funny to watch Armchair Detective. Like, it's funny to watch him. We were watching him on Downward Spiral like for days, and we had people group texting and sending around how funny it was that he looked shitty and he was about to like do bad things, and you know, maybe he'll die or whatever. That's just in Watts Island. Now think about a community that's okay with legal torture. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Legal torture, because you're signing a contract, so it's legal for this man to torture you. You don't think that they're not going to send her death threats to her and her family and stuff? Like, it's really horrible. Now, people that do McKamey Manor usually have a really rough upbringing and come from not a perfect past. A lot of you guys know my past, my upbringing, and I know a lot of you know some of Mandi's past because I've had it sent to me numerous times in the last 24 hours. And I have asked Mandi if she's okay with bringing up that. She was earlier. Are you still okay with that? Are you muted?
I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go. Are you still okay with kind of talking about that? Because it's going around, and you guys, I'm keeping this a closed panel for now. So far, I think everyone's being okay. There might have been one or two people, but I think the chat, Tammy Barnes is on the case. But I think you should have your say, not just people sending around pictures and news articles and stuff, but totally up to you. Because if you want to talk about it after we talk about it, I'll tell you like my thinking of it, kind of.
Yeah. So, yeah, back when I was 19 years old, I was 19. I want to say this before I go on to explain myself. Mm-hmm. I am not justifying anything, so please try to understand that. When I was 19 years old, I have dealt with a lot of stuff, and I don't feel comfortable going into complete detail. Things.
Oh, hello, Russ. Welcome. Russ McKamey is here.
Is he really?
Or it might be Haley.
Okay, well.
And by the way, Russ, she never said that she went through the Manor.
I never
said that. Just so we're clear, but I made sure to tag you because I knew you'd be here.
Oh, you I can't with you.
I'm sorry. You love me.
You're hilarious.
Okay, let's go on about your past that everyone's using against you.
Right. So back when I was 19 years old, I've gone through a lot in my life, and I'm not justifying it at all, okay? But it has messed with my way of thinking. So I was angry, and I made a comment saying I wanted to blow up Gateway Community College. I said this to a guy who I used to talk to and thought was a friend, and I'm anyways, I thought was somebody that just something out of anger. It's kind of like when someone says when they're mad, oh, I want to kill you, I want to hurt you, but you don't want to do those things. It's something out of anger, and the reason why it was to that school was because of things that I've dealt with, and not justifying it, but that's why I said that. I never planned on ever doing that. That's why the FBI. So anyways, I got into I don't know, he was just being very emotional. And as a teenager, I was a different person as a teenager. I'm 28 years old now, so completely.
We all were, right?
Right. And I called him can I swear on this? I can swear, right?
Yeah, you can swear on that.
Okay,
Yep.
I called him an oversensitive bitch, and he took it to heart. Like, I hurt his ego. So he knew I was never, you know, that I did not want to do that. He did it out of spite. He reported me to law enforcement. They reached out to the FBI. The FBI did an investigation on me. I had a feeling that the FBI was watching me. There was people that would be in my backyard at night, just strange things that I would pick up on. And an undercover FBI agent took over his identity, pretending to be him. And I had a different friend that I would talk to. And when this undercover FBI agent took over this guy's identity, he was texting me and he was telling me, you know, I always wanted to like blow up a mall. Like, have you ever wanted to do that? And I'm like, no. And he was like, but wait. Didn't you say that you wanted to blow up a school? And I said, yeah, I've said that out of anger or something. And I told my friend, my other friend, I'm like, you have to listen to, because he was talking about, I think it was, no, it couldn't have been Adam Long. Was it? No, because when this all, okay, yeah. Sorry, I correct myself. So when I made the comment that I did to this guy, this was before the Sandy Hook shooting happened. But this investigation, or this went on for like, I don't even know how many months. So then all of a sudden Sandy Hook happened. So he was saying, you know, that undercover person was the one saying that he wanted to be like Adam Lanza. I never said that. Those words never came out of my mouth. But when you look at the articles, that she said this and this. But anyways, so I told my friend, I said, you have to listen to how crazy this guy is. And as a teenager, I thought it was like entertaining to have my other friend listen to how psychotic this guy sound. Like, I'm like, this guy I used to talk to, like, or that I talked to or whatever, he's like saying he wants to blow up a mall. He wants to be like Adam Lanza, like, listen in. So like he would be muted while I would talk to him. And he was like, but didn't you want to blow up a school? Didn't you say that? And I said, yeah, I said that or whatever. And that's how the FBI had evidence on me for saying it, because they had me on a recorded phone call. I never called anything in. That's a lie, because I've seen articles that say, oh, she called something in, saying that, you know, she called this thread in, or she posted online. I never posted anything online. I never called anything in. It was said in person to somebody, and it wasn't said like, I'm going to go do this now or something like that. So anyways, so after that, this person thought it was funny, and then I experienced weird things where I felt like I was being followed, and I made it clear to that undercover agent, which I didn't know was an undercover agent at the time. I wasn't certain. I said I was not being serious when I made that comment. And the next thing they're like, meet me at a Dunkin' Donuts, meet me at a Dunkin' Donuts. And I said, no, I can't meet you at a Dunkin' Donuts. And I feel like they were trying to lure me out of my house so then they could arrest me outside or something. I don't know what the deal was with that, but all of a sudden I heard like noise outside of my house. I ran upstairs, I look out, I see a bunch of FBI agents saying, open the fucking door now. And I called that guy that was listening into those phone calls. I said, the FBI is outside of my house. He was like, yeah, right. And all of a sudden they kicked in my doors. They arrested me. I was interrogated. And, you know, I was, you know, incarcerated. I went to jail. I did not want to plead guilty at first. But anyways, my attorney said it's in the best interest because the feds will usually win a case. And if you go to trial, you get maximum time. The minimum for a first-time offender is 6 months to a year. The maximum is 5 years. And I was like, well, I don't want to spend 5 years in jail for saying something that I didn't even mean. So I pled guilty. I spent a year in jail in Rhode Island, Central Falls, Rhode Island, waiting to be sentenced. On my sentencing day, I was given time served. The judge said, this sounds like a mental health issue. This doesn't seem like a criminal. It doesn't, and the prosecutor's like, no, we think that if she goes back inside it, this could happen. And the judge, who, I mean, has dealt with a lot of criminals, said, no, time served. So I was given time served. I was on 3 years of federal supervised probation. I never violated it once. And I'm clear of that. Now, I did not realize at the time as a teenager, how my words would cause this like snowball effect on my life. Like I didn't realize how serious what I said was. And when I first got out, it didn't really affect me, but like, I don't even know, like mid-20s or whatever, that's when like anytime I was on the internet or anything, even when I was active, like when I would be with anything, like somebody, people naturally do that for whatever reason. They want to find out about people. And I wasn't being problematic on the internet or anything, but like even in my personal life, like people would be like, oh, like we found out about your past, like we don't want to associate with you. Like my boyfriend now, when he first started dating me, his friend said, we can't be friends with you. We read her article. These anti-McKamey Manor people sent my boyfriend's subordinate the article to my past set, and they were sending him all this stuff, and it was just like, it was crazy. It was messed up. It's like, these people, like, why are you even interfering with my life? Let me live my life. So anywhere I went, these people, this is like, you know, after I already, so moving forward after my release from jail, I already discovered McKamey Manor. And from that point on, after, it's like all these anti-McKamey Manor people that wanted to expose it. It's like, I feel like everyone wanted to be the spokesperson for McKamey Manor. So it caused all of this drama, that people would just be tearing each other apart and stuff. So anyway, so they did not like me because of my past. Josh would never own up to anything that he did with me, as far as I know. And I was hurt by that. And I felt like I was constantly pushed when they would have their live streams. I felt like I was pushed into a corner when my name would get brought up to constantly defend myself. I was being told, oh, look at her article. Like, this should tell you all about her. And it's like, I get it. Like, you can look at my past and say, yeah, that's telling, but people can change, and your mind is completely different than what it was when you were a teenager. I mean, I would, like, if people think back, are you the same person? Like, do you think the same when you were a teenager? You know, not everybody walks the same path in life. Like a lot of factors play a part in how we act as an adult, and it can carry with us certain behaviors that we never learned how to deal with, can carry into our adulthood. And it's our responsibility as an adult to learn how to deal with them. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I struggle with it because I've dealt with things in a certain way for so many years.
Girl, I'm 38 and I'm still learning how to deal with things. Okay. I still snap. I've made threats to people. I get angry when there's 20 different strangers trying to say they know my life, or I'm an animal torturer, or whatever the fuck they want to say about me. It is whatever, really. But you really said it perfectly. You can't go around on here and use people's pasts against them to poke the bear, and then when you get snapped on, run around and be like, oh my gosh, did you hear about them? And then start all this war. You guys, come on. That's why I told her, I hope y'all listen tonight and understand.
And I'm just gonna move forward with this because I want people, people are gonna get kind of off track. I'm gonna get off track with it. So I'm just gonna try to keep focused. I just wanna jump forward to the now. It's just like, I mean, when I was in that community, there was like, you know, a Facebook Messenger group chat or whatever. And I got along with a lot of these people during like the lockdown and stuff. Like we would send pictures, like people would send pictures of their animals, like just getting through every single day because it was hard here in New York. We were like the center of the pandemic. So everything was shut down. Like we could not go out or anything. And it was hard. It was very rough times. So I like to be in that chat and we would talk and we would get along. And it's like certain people would go in there and like they just created all this drama. And these people would follow me everywhere. Like everywhere that I went, these people would follow me and they don't want to see me happy. They told me that they want me to kill myself, and it's hard for me, and I try to stay strong and I try to keep going, thinking of my children. But these people have done so much that's so hurtful and fucked up
that it's like, it gets me so mad. It's like, I want to do to them what they're doing to me. And even though it goes against my own morals and how my mother raised me. And I know that. So I just like, it's really stressful because I was like, okay, well, you guys don't like me anymore, so then I'm leaving. And I always like true crime. I've always liked true crime since I was young. I've watched the ID channel. Like, I like all that kind of stuff. So I just got interested in the Watts case. I listened to like videos while I'm doing things around my place, and I came across a channel called like Live Abuse Free, and she made a video on the Watts, and I was like, this sounds interesting. Like, I heard about the case in 2018, but I'd never looked into it. So when I looked into it, I was like, this sounds interesting, and I started looking up things on YouTube about it and came across all these channels, and I was not problematic at all. Like, you can ask anybody that was around back then when I first started looking into the Watts case that I did not cause any problems in their group chats at all. And these people found me, like, because when I thought Natasha was behind the channel, I genuinely thought this. And I apologized to her, and she's not behind that channel. And I know she's not behind that channel. I'm not going to go around saying that now because we don't get along. But I'm sorry, but these people like just would message all these creators that I would watch, and they would tell them about my article, and they would just and I would have to constantly defend myself and chat. I'm like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just communicating. Like, why can't I communicate? Like, why can't I be like everyone else in the chat? And it's not fair to me. And then I would look like I'm the drama one. I'm the problematic one because I'm constantly out to defend myself. I'm tired. I'm tired of defending myself. I'm tired of telling people I have the right to move on. A judge gave me that right. A judge who deals with criminals every day gave me that right to go back into society and better myself. So why are you knocking me down? And it's disgusting how these people in true crime, they talk about justice. But it's like, you're basically implying when you knock somebody that has a criminal past down, it's like you're implying that I'm deemed to live a life of crime and I should go out there and commit these crimes, and I don't want to do that. I want to better myself, and it's like, what do you want me to do? So what do I do then? If I can't better myself and you don't want me, and I'm awful because I committed a crime, then what do I do? And so anyway, so people started seeing this. People started realizing this. And I'm not going to mention the channels. And I felt bad that I even mentioned those channels in my toxicity of the Watts case thing, but I felt like I had to because nobody was believing me about these people. Nobody was believing me. And I was telling people, these people are following me, leave me alone. Like, leave me alone. And I felt like that was the only way people would know. And then when I apologized to Natasha, and I'm still grateful that people were able to see how these people are, because it's like, and when people were saying in the chat, like, we see how these people are, I thought like I was like, is this even real? Like, is this real? Because I've been bothered, but now that we don't get along anymore, it's like these people are just waiting. It's like they're just lurking, waiting for that opportunity to jump on me. And it's like, I don't get it. It's like, why do you have so much hatred in your heart towards me? Like, I understand things have happened. I've owned up to what I've done. They keep saying Mandi hasn't owned up to it. I have owned up to it. But when are you gonna, if you're not gonna own up to anything you've done, and there's nothing more I can do, but move on, and you won't let me. So that just shows you're just a bully. You're disgusting. Like, leave me alone. So after that, you know, they've been doing this, like, so now they're all over it. They're all like trying to find people to, like, they were doing it to try to message, to come with their troll accounts and stuff and try to get into people's heads saying, don't talk to her, she's dangerous, and show them my past, to constantly, it's like, my past this, my past that. It's like, I get it, but it's like, I just want to move on with my life like anyone else who was given a second chance in life. It's not like I can understand if it was a career criminal, somebody who's made multiple, like, who's been to jail multiple times and stuff. And I know, and people, like, my reaction, like I said, wasn't right that night, but that that things were said to me, and I'm not justifying it. It's wrong. I should have handled it better, which is why I deleted the stream. I didn't delete it because I'm scared. Okay? If it's recorded and the FBI heard that, you better believe they would have arrested me pretty quick. I know that. I've dealt with the FBI. I've dealt with them. I've spoken to the FBI, okay? I've been incarcerated. I know how they work. Anyways, so it goes to show that there's two sides to things, and if they're not doing anything, there's more to the story. This is YouTube. Not everything is shown on the channels. Even though a lot is said, there's a lot behind the scenes that you guys don't see. So that's my story with that. It's just like, I don't even know. Like, I just want to move on my channel. Like, I had a happy stream and somebody came in and I thought they were funny, and I do like to entertain trolls sometimes. I think they're funny, and I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to not talk about something that was drama, and it was like people couldn't stand that. It's obvious due to their actions that they couldn't stand that I didn't make a stream. And if I make a stream talking about what happened, they call me manic, which is mocking mental health. And I've never been diagnosed with bipolar. I was evaluated by a top forensic psychiatrist from Yale. I think they know what they're talking about. I've been diagnosed with depression, PTSD, and ADD.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I read that yesterday actually, and I was hoping you would bring that up because I've helped other people fight things because of like mental illness and stuff, which I suffer from as well. And it's a lot to, hey Sky, you have a lot of good comments in here, by the way, that, you know, you're in front of 288 people and you're talking about your past and your charges and all of that. And when a lot of people want to hide that, you're doing great. So just take a deep breath. Okay. And people are pushing you because they want that reaction. You and I have talked privately about that because I've had to, I'm still learning that they want you to get angry like that. They want you. Well, I think it was you streaming and people were all going crazy in my stream and they're like, oh, there's drama with another creator or whatever it was. I didn't even check it out. I don't even know. But yeah, it's a lot of people who are, how do we say it? There's some people that love the drama, right? And so they would love nothing better than me and you go at it because it's the drama, or you and whoever else. It's the drama. Drama sells. But you guys, this isn't fun. Look at her crying, like real tears, crying as she's telling you about her past, which to me, like, I didn't feel like I owed anybody on YouTube to explain myself, my past, but I also felt like I'm not just going to allow people to make up shit and think because they Googled me or read something in black and white that they know me or the situation. You know what I'm saying? So please read her mind. She might feel better. I don't know what that means, but you guys are poking and prodding, not you guys, but some of these nasty people are poking and prodding people who suffer from anxiety, PTSD, and come from like abusive situations and really rough upbringings. And when you poke and prod at people like Mandi or myself or several other people, you're gonna get the reaction you're looking for. And Mandi has told me privately that's something that she actually doesn't like. She doesn't like when she reacts like that, you guys. She feels ashamed of herself when it happens. But I've done it. I still do it. I'm 38 years old, and it's because you're so angry and you're so sick of it, you just snap. And then after you're like, shit, I just fed into what everybody was trying to get me to do. Like, you know, I mean,
and those are
you
the
guys,
most hurtful, disgusting things. And
the most
when it
hurtful
comes to anything with my children, like, that gets me so bad. It's like, you can attack me all you want, like, go ahead, but don't start talking about my children and stuff like that. They didn't do anything. Like, there's so much more to that story that kills me that I don't feel comfortable talking about in a live. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. It's destroyed me. I live with it every day of my life. It haunts me every single day. It keeps me up at night, every fucking night. And when this happened, I didn't sleep for days. Yeah, the things that I had to watch, that I didn't have a choice. but to watch, and it breaks my heart. It really does. I'll never be able to move on from it. I've told my therapist this isn't, how do I move on from this? How do I go on? How does any parent go on from this? I don't know how this isn't natural. And all I can do is cope with it and try to find ways to distract myself, better myself. But when things like this happen, I understand it comes with the territory of being on YouTube. When people go hard for your life and they think it's funny, they're like, oh, well, I don't like cliquish. And they think that they can tell me how I feel. You don't know my life. You don't know my story. And I shouldn't have to come on here and tell you that. But if I'm saying I don't feel well, you shouldn't be poking and prying at that. Do you know what that's why it's getting so bad online. And, it's these people, it's like they want that or something, but then they'll go on their streams talking about mental health and bullies. Do you know what it's doing to me? But you want to justify that because you get along with somebody? You're just as bad. I just don't understand it. It's like, this has severely affected me. And I like with the live streams, I can do that. If you don't like me, don't watch me. There's plenty of other streamers to watch. But it doesn't, just because I've done things, doesn't give you any right to tell me how awful I am. It makes you just the same as you're telling me that I am. So it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating how they think that, oh, sad fishing, or you're sad fishing, or you're doing, how can you say that? And any professional knows you can't diagnose anybody online. And if you do, then you should have your license taken away, because you can't do that. And when people say, oh, well, how do we know if you're lying and stuff? It's like, you might as well be saying, let's see if you're going to do it. Are you going to do it? And I have found my friend dead, who's laying dead in their room for 2 days. And I had no idea. And I found them dead with their skin and their stuff all over the floor. It was disgusting. And this person would say that they wanted to kill themselves all the time. And people would be like, oh, that's just for attention. But it wasn't. And this person, they eventually did it. So that you can't say when somebody says things a million times that it's not real, that they don't feel that way. Because you don't know what's going on in my life. You don't know what's going on in my head. Not everybody, just because you'd be like, okay, well, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't deal with it that way. It wouldn't affect me. Not everybody's mind is the same. Not everybody is as mentally resilient. That's why you see people who commit suicide over what you would find something as minor.
Right.
Everyone's brain is different. So this has, I don't know. All I know is that I just want to move on from here and just go on. That's it. People don't have to like me, but I just would like for it to be dropped, and just this whole situation. I know some people might not drop it. That's on them. But I still have the right. I don't know. I didn't expect to get like this, but
well, I'm
crying
glad, because everyone is seeing the human side of you, and that's what I really wanted people to see. You guys, I can't tell you, some of you warned me with good intentions, and I respect that, and I love you guys, but there was definitely some of you who I don't talk to a lot. I wouldn't call you a friend, who was messaging me things on Twitter and every which way you could, sending me news articles about Mandi. I had already seen it all. There wasn't anything anyone sent me that I didn't know about. But I'm really glad that you came on here tonight. I think that we didn't even cover Watts, but I do have to get going. We should plan another show though.
Yeah, I would like that.
But I have your back, and there's been some people, you know, hey, Dr. B, saying some things, just ignore it. Like we've talked privately, just like when they're doing these things, just try and tell yourself, like, okay, they want a reaction from me. And when I go and jump on a live stream, because that's what I would do. I would jump on a live, I'd get pissed and immediately jump on, start a stream, and just start flipping the hell out, right? And we're feeding into exactly what those nasty trolls want from us. And they know, and they're pushing us to do it. And we just have to like remind ourselves, okay, well, if I do this and I react, I'm giving these people just exactly what they want, and then they win, right, Mandi? They win. They're getting that from you. And then they get to run around and be like, but she said this to so-and-so. She said this about so-and-so, and then use even more against you. And I'm still learning this, and YouTube is cutthroat. I'm really sorry that you're going through this, but I really appreciate you coming on here tonight when I know you kind of were, you're upset by your own actions, as I've been upset by my own actions, but all we can do is really like learn, okay, well, I don't like how I acted. And someone said in the chat, like, people don't change overnight. We can't just say, okay, tomorrow I want to be this whole new person and we're going to change overnight. That doesn't happen. But you have to give Mandi or anyone, but you know, time. Watch her, let her prove, let her show. So I think you'll see Mandi and I doing some more shows together because she's welcome here, she's supported here, and I really hope that this live had some of you guys who were thinking kind of one way about her thinking maybe a little bit differently now.
And that wasn't even like the point of this stream. Like we were, you know, I didn't expect to get like this. I don't like crying in front of other people, and I don't like looking like vulnerable. And I told someone today, I don't want to mention their name, but someone that I talked to that's really nice, and they've been there for me. And I said I'm tired of always looking like the person who's being bullied. Like I hate to be in that position. It's like I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. And I just appreciate you being nice and being willing to hear me out and not just jumping on this bandwagon of hate. And yeah, I just am appreciative of it. So thank you.
Definitely. I will text you tomorrow. Take some deep breaths. You did good. I think it's important because we're putting ourselves out there. You know, I think it's important for people to see the human side of us and see you're not happy. You like with even your own actions. I'm not. You guys, Watts, we didn't even get to touch, but McKamey Manor. Oof, there's a lot more we could discuss even just on that topic. So we'll plan some more shows on her channel, my channel. Why is she blaming the wrong person? She took it out on someone other than who said that. So we knew there would be people coming in here and trying to dissect everything she's saying, and we're just going to ignore that. So I think she said more than enough tonight, and I think the people with a good head on their shoulders actually heard her. So I'm glad for that. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we end this?
Don't know the situation. I was going to say that I can understand people's questions who want to know more and understand, because some people don't know. Like, you can watch two channels, and I've done it, like where I watch somebody and I don't watch the whole stream and I miss stuff in the stream, and then I go back and listen to the other person that they're, you know, because you want to hear both sides, and you're like, you only hear, you know, so it's like it leaves like these little gaps as to where it's like, well, then what's what? So I can understand why people want to have those questions answered. But it's like, I can't do that right. I just can't do that right now. But I don't know what you know, tomorrow brings.
You don't have to. You don't owe that. You don't owe anyone even coming up here tonight and discussing your past and everything like that. You don't owe anyone that. You know what I'm saying? Just remember, you don't owe anyone on YouTube anything. This is your life.
Yeah.
It's yours, you know? So, all right, guys, thanks for listening. Mandi, I love you, girl. I got your back. we'll talk
Thank you,
tomorrow and
Steph.
we'll plan something else. Your channel, my channel, both channels, whatever. But I'm really proud of you and I think you're a good person.
Thank you. Bye, Sharon.
Bye, hon. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Even the haters, thank you. Russ, thank you even. But you guys, I gotta go. Love you. Bye.